So, we are ready to return to our game. So last time, you guys won to the shock and rather mixed results of the crowd. Some people seemed to be kind of excited to see someone best a well-renowned home team. But on the other hand, they don't like you guys. But on the other hand, it is kind of cool to see their home team actually lose to someone, because that doesn't happen often.
Don't forget the one that's underneath me. Remember, because I laid on him?
Yeah.
Literally,
Alright.
use your dead weight on him.
I am not lining you guys up in any particular order, but there we go. I can delete the little thingy thing. Yeah, because we don't need that now. Now, where is my lady? Oh. Not that one. Alright! So, Mr. Grumpy. So after the match is over, you guys all line up on other ends of the arena. And the chiefess, she comes out, she settles down the crowd and whatnot and quiets them down, announces the winner, etc., etc.
Not just the winners, but 2-0.
Yeah. Yeah, 2-0.
I smile my creepiest, sharkiest smile.
It gets very, mixed results.
I am eyeballing the bitch.
She seems not to notice or respond to your eyeballs.
What?
So, she says that since you guys won the match, that means that you get the prize of one wish from the chieftain. And she turns to Haley and asks what your team would like to do with your one wish. Whatever you wish for, she will attempt to provide to the best of her abilities.
I just say it was my white me, the only human, but I tend to the other side. I'm like, do you guys have any ideas or?
What about throwing that she stole?
Kula suggests to the group, what about the ring she stole, in a hushed whisper.
Is it only Akula and me the only ones who know she stole the ring?
I think it's just you and Alsumi, I think, are the only two that knew about that.
Yeah, you said Akula, but Alsumi was the one who said it.
It's...
Sorry, I didn't say Alsumi. I'm sorry I get your names mixed up so often, they're similar.
Ursa told
It happens.
Aurora about it, actually, as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Aurora also knows about the stolen ring.
That would arouse suspicion, but what does she even mean, grant a wish? She's a lady on an island.
She said she would grant it. She said she would attempt to grant it to the best of her abilities. So, if she has the resources to provide it, she will.
Alright, then I suggest she gives us all of our shit back. Like all of our things that we came to the island with.
With no exceptions.
That, wouldn't be a bad wish.
But then...
It'd be a suspicious one, though, because most of the stuff they confiscated were weapons.
Yes, but isn't the boat done by now?
They said it would take a couple...
Okay, how about...
you guys have been here, like, since they started working on the boat, it's been, less than 24 hours since they said they were going to make a boat for you.
People just make a boat up in 2 hours.
Well, it depends on how far that boat needs to sail.
But here's a suggestion. What about the freedom to go wherever we want on the island as long as we're here?
I do like that wish.
Well, no point with that, sir. We're leaving as soon as possible. Do you not remember evil prince, bird people, robots?
Which is
We have an agenda to keep.
It's possible the chiefess might know something about that darkness everyone's been talking about.
We are.
She's a random woman on an island. What would she know about it?
her island was in the direction that the prince went in.
So?
You were you were following his trail when you came across the island. It's in the same direction.
Mm-hmm.
We're also definitively stuck here for a couple of days. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Well, unless you get your red ring back.
And also, when we did mention like a darkness of some sort, she denied something about a darkness happening, which is very suspicious in my book.
Yeah, it'd be one thing to say like, "Oh, I don't know anything about that," and
Well,
another
I know
to
what
be
I would wish for at least when we leave to get all of our stuff back.
Oh, that was a given. You were already going to get your stuff back when you left.
All of it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
Even the ring?
The ring. Well, presumably. You don't know for sure about the ring, but...
all of Ursa's wishes are basically just things that were going to happen anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You assume they're gonna happen. Did you assume this was gonna happen? Exactly.
Hold on.
I know what I want, but none of you fuckers ever agree with me.
I'm just thinking.
Let's see.
If anything, I would just ask to respect the men that we have here as well. because-
You respect to some random island woman? She can go get bent.
They've been giving
I
Well,
just flip
thing
her
is-
off on the way out.
they've been
Hang
giving
on.
your crap.
Hang on. We beat them fair and square at their own game. I think we deserve a little respect.
You're a woman!
This isn't.
They already respect you!
This is.
For all of us numbnuts, we won as a team.
I think Piper's on the is in the camp of wanting to ask for information.
Alright, we got, like, what, 2 people who want info?
Yeah, I think there's like a split at the moment between people considering asking for information, asking for like essentially resources or more freedom on the island, or just, to not have the men be treated shitty.
Or how about just the truth?
Hmm?
Give us the truth.
Doesn't mean she knows the truth.
Actually.
She's clearly lying about several things.
Actually.
Yes, and that doesn't mean she knows.
And has stolen a ring. That counts as lying.
If any,
No, it doesn't. That's because it's theft.
if anything, we could probably go by. We ask for nothing but for everyone, and we mean everyone, including you, to be as truthful as you can whilst we're still here. Meaning that you would also be honest about giving everything that you took away from us. And I mean everything.
I feel like that counts as 2 wishes. The honesty and the returning of stuff aren't really related. She can be honest and still not give you your stuff back. The guy at the TSA...
If I can't have my shit, I'll take information.
Okay.
Knowledge is power.
Shut up, desert boy.
Oh, yeah.
No, I just tell it, if anything, from what I've read never mind.
Actually, knowledge is power. If what I've read is anything to go... Oh, wait. That moment when the sheltered princess realizes the absurdity of her own statement.
Yeah, too bad you didn't have the knowledge to run away from the giant robot at the beach. No, let's run towards the danger.
It looked fun, alright?
He reads a lot of adventure
In
novels.
my defense, it stepped on my beach.
Get off my sand!
Okay, we're actually gonna have to figure out what we want as a wish.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, she said, she does have her food. Now, Piper, let's keep that to
Yeah.
ourselves for now. That way
Piper
if things
still has
do
her
get-
flute, and you have no reason to suspect that she's not going to give it back after the game.
Because
She
it
didn't
was-
actually say that she was confiscating it. She just took it
Yeah.
because she assumed that you wouldn't want to take that out on the field and get it damaged. She doesn't seem to be aware that the flute does anything special.
Yes, and let's keep the flute powers to ourselves for now.
Yeah, because if you wish for
I
it
agree.
back, that's gonna be suspicious.
Yeah, then she'll immediately know that the flute does something. Right now, she doesn't seem to think much of it, other than just Piper's really attached to it.
We could maybe ask for more money. I don't know.
I mean,
Money?
I'm not
I don't think
We
we
haven't
even
spent
sell
money.
things here.
I'm not really sure what good that would do you for a number of reasons. One, you guys haven't really needed to worry about money too much so far, and number two, whatever currency they use on the island is probably not going to be useful anywhere else. So you'd only be able to spend
Can
it
we-
here.
Can we ask for the grant of 30 experience each?
Oh, I mean, she might be able to provide that.
But yes, I my vote's for information.
Actually, we'll let you have experience, actually, after this session. I think I'll let you have experience for winning that game. I think you deserve experience for winning
That's
that
fair.
Yay!
Woohoo.
Okay.
Alright, so
Okay,
I think
so-
the vote is...
Information?
I'm going with information.
All right. Now the question is, what specific information? Because we only get one wish, which means I think she's going to be a stickler. We have to be very specific on what we want to know.
Yeah. You could ask where the men have gone, you could ask what she knows about the darkness, and demand she be truthful this time.
If anything, I think with the darkness, it would have a little bit more. It has a lot more use to us because we're not going to be in the island for long.
Okay, so it seems like the options are give us our stuff back, including the ring, more freedom on the island, respect for the men, information about the darkness, and information about the island. Those seem to be our options.
I say information about the darkness.
I say information about the darkness.
Info about the darkness. We can
Yeah.
take everything else for ourselves.
Piper is curious why it's called the Island of Wandering.
Did we know that?
It was mentioned in a conversation with another island woman a couple sessions ago.
I don't give a fuck about the island. Darkness. So we got 3 votes on darkness.
We could
At 4 votes, we win.
We could just
Darkness wins.
ask her
Now, darkness won.
to answer every question we have truthfully, which would include questions about darkness and questions about the island.
Hmm.
You could try asking that first, and if she shoots it down, then you could try just picking one.
Blanketly give us information about whatever we ask for.
All right, we'll try with that one.
Okay.
Haley, since she asked you, you have to answer.
Okay, so
Okay,
what?
so you guys leave your little group huddle where you've been whispering to each other this whole conversation. And meek little Haley is set out to front to ask the question. Now, despite being a Mobian, the Chiefess is unusually tall by Mobian women's standards and is actually taller than Haley.
Jesus Christ. He's a monster.
I almost feel inadequate.
I mean,
So she actually leans
He's almost
down.
5 feet tall.
She leans down to get closer to Haley's face and asks her very sweetly what her team has decided to wish for.
do we all, excuse me, do we all agree asking about the darkness first?
Yeah,
Or,
No, we were ask about the first one we wanted was the answer all questions truthfully, and if she says no, then the darkness.
okay, so here we goes with the sweetest voice as can you please answer all our questions truthfully?
Questions? What sort of questions?
Well, I believe my team wanted to know for the first one. Do you know anything about this darkness that we've been hearing around?
You say that, bear in mind you're in the middle of a field and everyone can hear you. The crowd there's a quiet shock that passes through the crowd. People whisper nervously to one another. And the chiefess gets rather nervous and decides to usher you all off of the field. She announces that you settled on your wish, and she will be taking you guys to the island shrine to fulfill it.
Yay.
Whee!
And then, rather
There's a
worriedly,
ritual.
rather anxiously, ushers you guys out of the arena and away from town.
I give the middle finger to the bear.
She smiles back at you.
I imagine Harry will yell to them, I'm sorry if I hurt any of you. I
What do you
didn't
mean?
mean it."
Earth's off the bishop to the ground!
I still feel bad, Ursa. I feel like you guys know by now, with somebody missing my mom issues, I get what to be upset.
Also, I saw that you were bear hugging that bear woman. Do you like her?
Oh god.
I agree with a woman.
Well, she does got a lot of meat on her.
So he's not saying no. He'd consider it.
As for me, I thump my chest and do a mic drop.
Ursa's just like, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'd hit it.
In the face, with my fists, over and over.
Um,
Face though.
Is the chieftain twice the size of Ursa?
She's like,
Only a good head or two taller.
yeah, she's not like a crap ton taller than Haley, but she is just enough taller that she kind of leans down a little bit to get closer to her face. Like the difference between the height of like an adult and a teenager.
Wait, does that mean she's around Alsumi's height? Because I know that he's pretty tall. For me.
Actually, yeah, she probably is, because I remember now, Asumi's unusually tall, too. He's lanky.
Yeah, he's 4 feet and 7 inches.
He's probably slightly taller than Asumi.
Right.
Yeah, I know Harry is 5'1", which is
Yeah, because Haley's 5'1", so she's probably like, that's not what I meant to do. Why can I not delete this map? I'm trying to delete the...
Aurora is
Yeah.
like just surrounded by a lot of towering people.
yeah.
Ursa's pretty average height for an adult male Mobian, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
made Aurora be like 3'4", I think.
Jesus Christ. Rick's 3'4".
Well, she's tiny.
Or just a little bit taller, maybe. Like I around that height at least.
This purple rectangle is meant to represent a bridge.
Uh-huh.
So,
Is it a Miyajak bridge?
I think it's just a regular
It's a
bridge.
joke.
Oh. How was I supposed to know that it's a joke? This is a world with magic in it. It's a valid question.
Okay, that's what Ursa does whenever he interacts with something. This is a cup. Is it a magic cup?
This is a
I remember one episode SpongeBob. That was hilarious.
Bucket. Dear God. There's more.
no.
So the shrine she takes you to is in that little island in the center of the lake. And this whole area is kind of in a sort of indented, like, little sort of caldera structure. It's also pretty isolated, and if you guys wanted to, say, flee, the only way out or in is a narrow pathway up the side of the wall that you guys walked down from. So you're pretty isolated right now, and fleeing quickly will be a challenge if you need to do that.
I feel relatively comfortable.
Noted.
I feel relatively comfortable with 6-on-1.
I don't. This bitch is like 5 feet tall.
Wait, she's even tall in St. Harry in. So, it'd be a challenge.
Give me a second.
Did someone leave the party? Or the group?
Did somebody?
I heard a doo-doo.
Oh,
I think it was Shasui. Shasui? However, I'm pronouncing the username.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, we're good then.
Give me a second. I'm really enjoying this bagel.
God damn it, Alex.
It's a good bagel.
I'll be honest. I kind of prefer donuts over bagels. I'm not sure why, but
Well, donuts are sweeter. That's why.
I have always been a big fan of sweets. So, like anything sweet, I would eat.
Oh, I'm gonna judge. I have a terrible sweet tooth too.
Yes, I had to try and control it. Because she always had a stash of candy, and Rick was getting into it.
Yes, and so I started cutting down on my candy intake because Rick was stealing my candy, and then
Hell,
he
he stole all her chocolate this morning.
Oh,
Oh dear.
I had a chocolate bar on the desk I hadn't finished.
And he asked for it. I didn't know what he was wanting. And then later on, he came up to me with chocolate-covered hands, like, clean me.
oh, that's adorable.
Comes up to Daddy, asks for chocolate. Daddy says, I don't know what you're asking me, kid. Leaves, eats the chocolate anyway, comes back. Father, I need cleansing.
Oh, that is adorable.
Or at least you asked first, or at least attempted to ask for it.
He did try to ask, to be fair.
An attempt was made.
An attempt was made, that is true.
You tried, don't start.
He tried.
So,
Okay.
so she pulls you all aside to and she kind of hurried you guys here. This wasn't like a casual stroll. She was in a rush to get you out of there after you mentioned the darkness in front of everyone like that. Now that you're in here, she sort of yells at you, but like in that whisper yelling. In a rather frantic and furious tone, which you've not seen from her so far. She's yet to drop her composure once since you've been here. You've seen hints that she has a spiteful side, but you've not seen her this anxious before. She's always seeming to keep up the facade, but it's slipping. And she demands to know why you would mention the darkness in front of all of her people like that, and accuses you of trying to start a panic on the island.
Aurora, how about you take this one? You can handle annoying royalty.
Don't even remind me. Alright. Madam, very sorry if we did cause a little bit of a stir, but that was not our intention. Also, last time I checked, when I mentioned the darkness, you literally denied it. What else could I have thought other than that you knew something about it? Also, how dare you think that we would do this on purpose? We have no reason to do that.
Of course you have reason. Why would you come to our island with 3 men not intending to cause trouble? Men only ever cause trouble.
3?
3?
Because it was an accident.
Or 2. Oh, you're right, 2. I'm sorry.
Yeah, remember, I was the only dude for a while.
Well, you're right, it's 2. I misremembered.
Anyway.
Why do you insist that men are the problem? Can't you just... Couldn't you ever think that maybe you're the problem yourself? Sorry.
She was
No.
pacing and running her fingers through her hair, and then when you said that, she stopped. Back to you still, but she stopped dead in her tracks. There is an uncomfortable silence.
You ever heard of dumb luck?
Look, we got stranded here.
Where'd you go?
We had no reason to ever... Oh.
When she turns to face you, you know,
Uh-oh.
what's this?
It's a demon!
That was a
I told you! I told you she's a demon!
Kill it with fire.
With a quiet and controlled rage, she says to you, rather softly, "You came to my island, and I was gracious, and I fed you, and I clothed you, and I washed your miserable, filthy asses. You stir up trouble. You inflict fear upon the women that I have dedicated my life to protecting. You are a fucking child. Do not speak to me as if you know better.
Can I perform an insight check on her?
Go ahead.
I'm not sure what it could reveal, but I'm gonna do it. I want to know what the fuck is going on with her.
Alright, roll an insight check, but you'd have to roll really high to figure this out. I'm gonna say that it has to be like a 6, or you don't get it.
Funny you should mention that. I have 1 insight and 5 brains. If I roll a 1, I get a 7.
Oh.
I thought you should roll a 6. Like,
Yeah, I forgot that insight works that way. Sorry, so a 12. Or if you get... Yeah, if he gets a...
essentially, you have to roll a perfect... Like, just roll a 6.
Yeah, if he gets a 5 or a 6, he'd get it.
Yeah,
it-
what about
5?
Alright, well then you... Oh, how do I justify this deduction?
Well, I was a traveling nomad. I'd probably have a crap ton of useless knowledge.
Alsumi is quiet for a moment as she stares down Aurora, standing uncomfortably close, staring her dead in the eyes.
I have my hand on my gun.
There is this... You don't have your gun.
Fuck! I got my hand. I placed my hand to where my gun would be in panic.
Ursa instinctively goes to reach for his gun and then panics silently as he realizes he doesn't have it. Alsumi looks at this woman, at her sudden transformation, and her quiet rage. And then, very softly, he says, "It's touched you, hasn't it? The darkness."
Wait, why would I say that?
Well,
Insight.
the thing is, in previous conversations, people have alluded to the darkness being something that is kind of like a sickness. Something that infects people and corrodes places. You know? Something that inflicts people with a sort of madness. And combined with her panicked response to people mentioning the darkness, her sudden magical transformation and sudden switch in personality, and what you'd learned before. You didn't know much about the darkness, but you did recall people describing it as a sort of sickness or something that inflicts that causes madness. So you're putting those two things together. Her anxiety about anyone mentioning it, the way the darkness has been described previously, and her sudden shift.
And so, is Alsumi so shocked by this revelation that he just absent-mindedly says it out loud?
I mean, I assume he's just kind of like the pieces come together in his head, and he doesn't even think about it.
People
before he says
really
it.
survive interacting with the darkness.
Yeah,
If it's kind of like a legend type thing.
if it's a legend that so few people have experienced, it means people don't often survive interactions with it. That's not a bad thing to deduce. But yes, I would say, Alsumi, that you did say this aloud, sort of almost not thinking about it before you said it. It's sort of like the gears were turning. She turns to look at you, slowly, and she looks a little bit disarmed. That quiet rage is slightly tempered with surprise and a sort of pensiveness. What would you know of the darkness, boy?
Only that it corrupts?
It does many more things than that. Many, many more things. feeds on the violent and wretched impulses. Sick and wicked people. The kinds of people who have hurt every woman who lives on this island.
Are you implying that men are wretched and evil?
I've yet to meet one who has convinced me otherwise.
I met these two.
I have had no choice but to purge any man who set foot on my island, lest the darkness consume us as well.
What do you mean, purge?
What?
Can I?
I suppose you did ask. I suppose your one wish was for honesty, wasn't it? And since we are speaking honestly, I suppose there's no reason to keep up the facade any longer. The violent urges, the hateful spite of people is what gives the darkness its strength. And in my experience, men are some of the most hateful and violent, angry creatures this world has to offer. Every woman who's come here has been abused and harmed by men.
Hey.
Are you?
I
speaking-
created this place to give them a safe haven. And when the darkness began to creep up on my lands, I knew that I could not allow for even a single man to stay here. This island needed to be a sanctuary, or we would be consumed by it, along with the rest of the archipelago.
I kind of nudge up next to Aurora and be like, you have any plans? Because I don't have my gun.
I'm sorry to inform you, boy, but you and your friend were never meant to leave this.
Okay, real quick.
Now when I turn violent?
Immediately upon hearing her
You
say
want.
that, wait, real. Can
Ursa asked first, so Ursa gets to respond first. And then you do your thing, Alsumi. Go ahead and react.
Alright, since, she just openly threatened to kill us, and I don't know what to the women, but it can't be good.
Well, presumably they would have been integrated into the community.
Yes, but apparently against their will, you've seen all these crazy-ass hypnotized bitches.
brainwash.
Ah,
Not hypnotized, just high. But,
I used my movement
yes.
to go right up next to her like I'm running at her,
Yep.
and I tackle her to the ground and yell for everybody to run.
Okay. Alright. So, we're gonna do a roll for this.
oh.
I have no idea what her stats are.
Oh,
Not checked them yet. Oh.
Why are you laughing?
Oh, come on. When she did that scary evil demon Pumpko Jack-o'-lantern face, you knew it wasn't gonna end nice.
Alright. Fight versus fight, Ursa.
Ursa, what the hell are you doing? You gonna get killed?
I'm assuming she has an amazing fight.
Okay, I got a power of 6.
Okay, she rolled low.
I did 2. So I have a base of 8. I got a 14.
Alright, you do successfully tackle her. So that you guys know, she has a total... Her power is 7, her fight is 3.
Oh.
So that's a base of 10.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he just really caught her off guard.
To be fair, I think he did, but yes, he did manage to tackle her to the ground. He managed to surprise her enough with his approach. I imagine partly because she was looking at Alsumi, not at Ursa, and wasn't expecting him to charge her. So, yeah, you successfully managed to pin her down for the moment and yell to everyone else to run.
Alright. Still have one more action, right?
Yeah, I guess you do have another action. You have no weapons currently.
Yes, I know. Okay, what can I do? Also, tackling her, like, it knocked us both into the water. Because you
Yes, it did. It would have knocked
So
you.
we're now both in the water. And, this is gonna be a bit brutal, but I attempt to hold her head underwater.
Ooh. Alright, you can try that. I will determine
It's another fight, right?
Yeah, I guess that's another fight versus fight.
Roll low. Nope, I can't win.
You cannot win. You are unable to drown this woman, and she's able to knock you off of her. However, the rest of you guys do have a chance to do actions before she gets a turn.
Yes.
So I'm going to give Alsumi the next turn. I'm going to rearrange the turn order. Alsumi, you're going to be up next because you had a reaction in mind that you wanted to do, and we'll basically rearrange the turn order in order of, like, you know, you guys will just tell me, like, hey, I want to do this, and then I'll arrange the turn order around everyone's impulse reactions and who responds quicker. So Alsumi, your turn.
Okay, is she, like, still, like, off guard or something? Or, like, not
Well, she is screaming.
not paying attention to me?
And I'm going to the bathroom. Good luck.
She's not paying attention to you. She is, like, as you are doing your turn, she is wrestling away from Ursa and shrieking in the water.
In that case, Alsumi's gonna do what he does best and stealth up behind her.
That might be... Okay, go ahead.
One second.
She is, in fact, not paying attention to you, so she's not going to have a chance of noticing you. She can't while she's wrestling away from Ursa.
Oh my god.
She can't notice you. She's distracted, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
You don't really have to roll for that.
Oh, okay.
What are you going to do once you sneak up on her?
Since I stealth up to her, that means that I can perform on a sneak attack, which also means she has absolutely zero chance of missing.
Yeah. She can't dodge because she is distracted, and this is a sneak attack.
My attack will hit her, and I'm going to attack her with my poisonous pincers.
Oh no.
Because then she'll be poisoned and she'll take damage consecutively every turn.
One
Alright.
thing I hate to mention, we kind of just justified everything she said.
You kind of did. She said that men were impulsively violent and
She threatened to kill us. What the
She's not
It's okay.
And
I'm a woman and I'm impulsively violent too.
men are too impulsively violent to exist in my paradise. Immediately impulsively attacks woman.
Because she threatened to kill us.
I guess she did, but she wasn't actually trying. Here's the thing: she insinuated it. She didn't actually say she was going to
She
kill
said
you.
Purged.
Yes, but purge
Purged
is
only means one thing.
it can be used in multiple contexts.
Not the way she said it.
Yes.
You were never going to leave this island to begin with.
Yeah.
Yes.
That part.
Also, scary face.
She's also very clearly been consumed by darkness.
Demon. Anyway, pincer attack.
So you stab her with your pincer, and she. What part of her body are you stabbing her in? By the way.
Her abdomen.
I imagine probably her back, actually, because she's probably got her back to you.
Oh,
So I'm
yeah.
gonna say like her sort of lower back, kind of off to this, kind of to the side.
Kidney.
Yeah. So you stab her with your pincer, and she lurches like upright and is like she doesn't even scream. There's just this sort of silent, this sort of like quiet kind of shriek that comes out of her mouth, like. You know, like when it hurts, when something hurts and you don't scream so much as you just do that breathy thing.
Right.
That,
You breathe in.
yeah, that like sharp, that harsh intake of air.
Sharp inhale.
Ursa, I assume you're going to back off?
I can't. I'll have an action.
Well, yes, this doesn't count as an action. I'm just assuming, for the sake of describing the scene, that you probably stumble back when Alsumi does this.
No.
No?
I would go to the advantage and try to punch her in the face again.
Alright.
Exposed.
So,
But I already used my action, so I can't.
she recoils with a sharp intake of air, and then kind of, like, sort of slumps forward a bit, sort of gripping her arms, like, her arms crossed over her chest.
She's poisoned now, so.
Alright.
Arm across the chest is never a good thing.
So, who wants to take the next action?
I
Wait a
can.
minute, wait. We're allowed to have one movement and two actions, right?
Yes, you
Is
can do a
stealth an
second.
action?
Stealth is a movement.
Yeah, stealth is a movement, and then I attacked her, so I only did one action.
You can take another action if you really want to.
I think we should just run. Which side is the exit on?
It is to the south. I'll just
Alright.
have you guys
So near
do
the end,
checks.
like, we're near where the water is flowing down to.
Yeah.
Does incredible speed count as a movement or an action?
Alex warned us even that it really was.
You can do 2 movements and an action, or 2 actions and a movement.
Okay.
I don't even know your flute would work on darkness, Piper.
I mean, it probably would have worked here, in fairness.
Maybe.
It might have been the hardest case she's had of hypnotism, but it would be doable. It's very difficult.
Yeah, we're better than nothing, that's for sure.
I have a small problem in that I intended to use my incredible speed to get to the nearest people. Except they're not on this map.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you guys are alone in this little caldera. There's not other people to attack right now.
Although-
Just you and her.
Although, since I do have incredible... This would probably look really bad on Alsumi, because it's just gonna look like he's abandoning them. Although
Alright,
Ursa,
well, do
Ursa
your
did-
action.
Ursa
What are you
did say to
doing?
run.
So you're gonna run.
Yes.
Alright.
I'm
The
using my-
exit is to the south.
And I'm using my incredible speed.
Alright.
Plus my base speed is 6.
I don't think you need to use incredible
Yeah.
speed. I think using your wall crawl ability would be more useful here. Because
Wait,
the
but-
wall is so close that you don't even need to roll to reach it.
Oh,
But you are going to need to use that ability to climb it. Well,
Okay.
I mean, you could also just run up the pathway, I guess. But I feel like climbing it with your wall crawling would be faster.
okay. Yeah, I'll do that. So literally what just happened was he ran up
He
behind
stabbed
her.
her. He snuck up on her, stabbed her in the back, and then scurries up the wall like the insect he is. Just skitter, all the way up the wall.
Is hero bungo.
So also he bucks it, and he skitters up the wall. All right,
I am gone.
who's taking the
That
next
son of a
action?
bitch. All right, I gotta get going. I'm taking point.
All right, Akula. All right, what are you doing?
All right, so is Ursa pinned under what's her name or anything?
No,
Or is
that
he
he's
I
not.
pushed off to the side.
He's not pinned.
So moving.
He's actually, they're standing next to each other now.
Okay.
He's just standing in the water next to her, but he's not currently pinned. And he's not currently in any more immediate danger than the rest of you.
Fuck! I messed up.
What?
I just realized that it probably would have been a lot more effective if I pickpocketed the ring from her instead of attacking her. Alex Dealey.
Well, you didn't take that chance while you had it. Hello! You are not a player, so you can listen, but you cannot speak. Oh, I guess he just left.
What a fucking loser.
That was weird.
He may have just
That was weird.
he may have like seen I was doing a voice chat and be like, hey, and then realized like, oh wait, no, this is their game.
Anyway, well, I am going to try and just grab Ursa and run.
You go pick me up.
because you don't trust Ursa to run.
Yes.
Okay, that's actually fair. That's a fair response. You do admit Ursa has a habit of like assuming he can take on everything himself.
Well, let's fucking go then.
Alright, go ahead. Run over, try to lift him.
Please tell me you can lift. You do lift, right, bro?
Alright, how much do you weigh, Ursa?
Actually, I was just going to go more grab him by the wrist or ear or whatever and just
Okay, just
hold
yank him.
He just gonna drag me.
Okay, yeah, basically. Alright, go ahead. Grab him. You can do a second movement and yank him. Ursa, you can resist or you can allow yourself to be dragged.
Why the fuck resist?
Alright then, drag him.
So what role would that be?
Just do a movement. Just do a movement, it's fine. He's not gonna resist. Just, one. Okay, what's your speed then?
Oh yeah, that's right. Speed of 5.
Oh.
Should Alsumi just be removed from the map?
I'm gonna leave him there for the moment, just because I would just have to put him back on again as soon as we change maps again. So
Ah, okay. So the characters at the bottom are just not here anymore.
yes. All right, who's reacting next?
I know Haley wanted to do something.
All right, you can go next, Haley.
Shouldn't Ursa's character piece be moved too?
Okay, so I feel like at first he would think, okay, this was
Oh,
all my
wait.
fault.
Can I do a little bit of game narration before you do your turn?
Of course.
So, as Akula runs off with Ursa towards the wall, Ursa turns to look back at the woman, or rather, never really takes his eyes off of her to begin with,
I'm kind of freaked out.
and watches as her shoulders start to heave, and you can hear sort of gurgling, retching sounds.
Why?
I would love for the other patrons of the island to see their leader this way.
Bro, who's to say they aren't like this?
Right, Haley, go.
What's going on again?
She is currently gurgling and retching over in the lake, and Akula has dragged Ursa over to the wall, and they are starting to climb back up.
It feels like she's about to transform into a giant spider monster.
Okay, so, I'm sorry for stuttering. I would like to walk up to the chief and try to talk to her.
Okay. Oh,
The chief?
try. You don't have to roll for movement because she's just right there.
So
Okay.
do I? Okay. Okay.
I guess
so
you're gonna be doing like what's it?
Persuasion?
I think it's
Socialize or manners, I think. Maybe. Socialize, maybe.
okay. Let me see.
Depends on what you're trying to do.
Um.
Socialize, I guess, if you're just trying to talk to her and see if she's okay.
She's gonna fucking die.
Oh, I feel like. Wait, I'm not sure it's close enough to where he be. I'm okay to die today, so. So let me see. My socialize is a zero. Oops.
Mm.
Oof.
And what's your personality?
My personality is a 3. Let me double check.
All
Yep.
right. Roll a 1d6.
Okay, so 1d6. Oh, it's a 5. So 5, 6, 7. I think I said 8.
She rolls much higher than you. She lifts her head to look at you. A black ooze drips from her mouth. She manages to gurgle out, "Leave. You will die. You will all die. You've doomed all of us. Leave now."
And I yell from the side, "Run!" Again, I yell, "Run!"
As she sees this, black ooze begins to bubble and pour from the gaping wound that Alsumi left on her back. It drains down into the lake, turning it black, and starts to creep up onto the ground near your feet. It bubbles and surges. It pulses almost like a living thing as it creeps up and starts to climb up your shoe.
Oh.
This sounds like a horror movie.
It does.
I was just trying to get her away from us and punch her. I'm assuming he's trying to murder the bitch.
Well, okay, justification, he is an assassin, and she did threaten his life.
Well, you're a very shitty assassin. She's still alive.
So just to clarify, so is it on my shoe, Alex? Like the ooze?
Yeah. You're standing right next to the water.
Yeah, it's literally starting to crawl up your shoe.
Okay, so
I really, really advise running at this point.
Oh.
I don't normally like to give you guys advice in these games. Because I like you to just make your own mistakes, but
Like the whole, can I fight it? You can certainly try.
I would really, really advise running in this situation.
okay, so do I have like a movement? Like can I like move away from her? Oh,
You can step back, yeah. You can.
She only used one movement. She's
Yeah, you still have a second movement.
And I think her base movement is high enough that she doesn't even need to roll. She already reaches the edge.
so
Yeah.
okay, so
Yeah, I think you're close enough to the wall you can just get over to it without having to roll for that.
okay, so as I move away, I yell out, but I would like to help you. I feel this is my fault. As I move to the wall.
She
Did she even respond anymore?
starts to sob as more of the black ooze bubbles out of her mouth. You can barely make out her words at this point. They're almost unintelligible, but she tells you not to take the blame. Not to take the blame for the mistakes of your men. And she cries that she couldn't protect and she cries that she failed. She sobs that she's failed her people, that she's failed, and that this island is going to die.
I am just going to say that I immediately understood what is going on. I absolutely understand what is going on, and I absolutely hate myself for what I just did.
You figured out what you accidentally caused, didn't you?
It's like, I've made a mistake.
She was
Yeah.
acting as a container. She was keeping it under control.
Yes, she
When
was
I-
trying to hold the darkness at bay
And
this whole time.
when I attacked her, it just starts spewing out.
Yup. All it took was someone breaking the skin.
Well, they just wanted to drown her. That wouldn't have broken the skin.
I guess they wouldn't have, though. If you killed her, then that probably still would have had the same result.
Maybe, we don't know. Better than bleeding black ooze. Princess, get your fuzz butt in the air and fly and run.
Yeah. It looks like Piper has already booked it, so, yeah, Aurora, you're the last one left. I would advise
Piper's
running.
like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
I don't do spooky shit! Oh, you still don't even know where your flute is! You don't know where she hid it! Or where she put it, I should say.
Okay.
Didn't she give it back?
Oh yeah, I guess she would have given it back after the, you're right, she probably did give it back after the game was over, so she probably does have her flute. You have lost your red ring, though, because that was presumably still on her person. Unless it's, like, in her bedroom somewhere on the island.
Okay. I might regret this.
It would have been
Oh, what are you gonna do?
Aurora's gonna go up to her.
No! Yell from the side. What the Run!
And she's going to rip a part of her clothes. And she's gonna do a medicine with her brain.
Okay, you can try!
What?
I'll let you try!
I have a question. This is darkness, correct?
Yeah!
No.
You can try!
What would happen if she flashed the darkness?
Oh,
Her flashing ass isn't magic, though. The
right.
darkness is.
The darkness.
That's not, yeah, her flashing ass is not magic. Piper is yelling, "Run, you idiot!" while Aurora tries to bandage her.
Okay.
With her dirty I know, that'd be dirty. She's wearing the linen.
Yeah, it's clean linen, to be fair. A 5. Alright.
My brains is a 4. +2 from medicine and first aid.
So yes, you are able to wrap the bandage around her waist, although with little cooperation from her end, as she's kind of sort of limp noodle half flailing as you do so. And she grabs you by the shoulders in her flail and grips them tightly with her fingers.
Damn it.
And she looks down at you, and she tells you that was a mistake.
Oh.
The ooze continues to bubble out of her mouth, and now it's beginning to drip from her eyes, and you feel it crawling up your arms.
Oh.
You can feel her fingernails start to dig into your skin as any ounce of coherence left starts to leave her eyes.
God damn it, Aurora! Why?
Why did you just stop her?
Because she threatened to kill us!
Hey, you didn't stab her. You were just incapacitating her.
Yeah, that was more towards our
Yes.
Piper whips out her flute to hypnotize Aurora. Go ahead.
Yes, do it, please. Bring her over here.
Oh, she gets killed.
I'm gonna give you a freebie on this one, Piper, actually, because in this particular situation, I think you have a lot of advantages going for you.
And no one else can really do anything.
Namely, motivation and the fact that Aurora is probably not paying any attention to you right now.
Wait, who's she mind controlling?
Aurora, to get Aurora to leave, because Piper doesn't trust her to not keep trying to help. So Piper is basically forcing her to run.
I was going to run anyway, but okay.
You're grabbed on. You can't run.
That's why I thought she was trying to mind control the.
Well, the thing is, she would normally can't be run, but when she's mind controlled, she's gonna ignore the pain and just like rip herself from being grabbed.
Yeah, if she's mind controlled, then she can get Aurora to just yank herself free. Though the process of doing so does leave some gashes in Aurora's shoulders, because that grip was tight.
Which is
So skin has been broken, and there is still black ooze on her arms and parts of her body.
Well,
Oh, shit.
can we get out of here first, then?
So Aurora manages, while mind controlled by Piper, to pull herself free, which leaves gashes on her shoulders, and the mind controlled Aurora begins to fly towards the wall, bits of black ooze dripping from her clothes as she does so.
Are we all out of there yet?
Yeah. I think that gets you all to the top. This could have been avoided had I put loot in the first place.
I'm
Alright, I'm gonna delete this bridge. It didn't end up coming into play, but it would have if one of the possible routes I had in mind had played out. But this is the route we're going for. It was not the route I planned, but this is how things are going. So, you guys basically have until the end of the session. And then by the end of the session, this island is fucked. Just so you know.
Okay, we're out of the temple now, right?
Yes, as you run down the other side of the wall, you guys kind of one of you guys stumbles. Which one of you guys is going to take a tumble down? Everybody roll 1d6 for me real quick.
1d6, okay.
Except for Aurora, you're flying.
Never mind.
What about my cling?
Yeah, also Asumi, you're exempt. The lowest roll... Okay, Akula and Haley roll again.
Okay. Oof.
2 and 2 again.
One more time.
Okay, I think Cool has to work again.
Well, Piper, this isn't the direction I was expecting things to go.
We ain't done yet either.
Haley, you gotta roll again.
We ain't done yet either, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, it's a bit early to call it anticlimactic. Okay, so it's Akula. Akula takes a tumble and essentially ends up like she reaches the top and then doesn't watch where she's going, loses her footing, and tumbles down the side of the wall rather than walking down the path. In doing so, you guys follow behind and end up on a part of the island that you hadn't seen before. This beach is somewhat secluded, and it has what appears to be the largest house you've seen on the island since you've been here. So,
Wow.
There's a decent chance this is the chieftain's island. The
House.
chieftain's house, I mean.
I vote we raid the house.
I'll assume he was already bolting for the door. Or
Yeah, he was,
Also, he sees the house and is like, "Stop! We need stuff now!"
either bolting for the door or the closest window to smash through.
Alright, while they're doing that, I jump up and grab Aurora's feet and drag her to the ocean water and, use the salt water to clean her off because the black ooze is still like, oozy.
I can't swim.
Well, yeah,
It's
but
not gonna be a foot deep
he's
water.
not gonna like take you out far enough to have to swim.
Okay,
Uh, Piper, is she still hypnotized, or have you unhypnotized her by this point?
Please tell me that she isn't hypnotized the whole time. Yes.
Yeah, she stopped playing then.
Alright. So yeah, you are unhypnotized, Aurora, and now in this new location without any recollection of the moving from point A to B, but yes.
Oh, my shoulders hurt.
I'm pretty sure my character has only ever done terrible things.
Alright. Ursa and Aurora? You guys... Ursa's gonna take Aurora to go clean her off in the water. Alsumi has already booked it for the house. I don't really have a good map for this house's interior, so I am going to just have you do a check and see what stuff you can find in her house. Anyone else who wants can also do the same check. Let me decide what stat I want you guys to use. I'm gonna say...
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Insight?
I'm going to say luck. I'm gonna say you guys each do a luck check to see what you find in the house. Anyone who wants to search the house does a luck check and see what you
Oh,
find.
glad I'm not in there.
Akula got a good roll. Haley, are you also checking the house?
Oh.
yes, I could check. Do I need to roll a 1d6?
I got a 10.
Piper has basically just sat down in the grass, defeated. She doesn't seem to have much hope left for this situation. But you guys rolled pretty well. Akutla, you managed to find your weapon and clothes. And Nick, you managed to find the red ring that she stole from Ursa, hidden in like one of her like it was in the drawer of her nightstand.
I didn't actually have a weapon, but hey, works
Well,
out.
not your weapon specifically, but you guys' weapons.
So you found
Oh,
the
okay,
weapon.
good.
The weapons and clothes that were
All right.
that you guys had confiscated when you got to the island.
Okay, good.
I don't think that they had confiscated your non-weaponry stuff. Like, obviously, they didn't confiscate the flute or any stuff that was in Aurora's backpack, but that means that that stuff isn't in this house. It's in the guest house you guys were staying in. So if you want to get the rest of your stuff back, you'd have to go to the guest house. Because right now, this is just your clothes and weapons. Actually, probably not your clothes. Your clothes had been washed and were probably also at the guest house. So just your weapons.
With-
All right, just your weapons and the red ring. And Haley, you managed to find a photograph.
Oh my.
In the photograph, you can see what appears to be a younger version of the chieftain wearing fairly modern-looking clothing to contrast what she usually wears here, alongside what looks like it was probably her family at what appears to have been some kind of archaeological site.
I imagine Haley would have been, oh my god, she had family. Like all of us,
Alright, Aurora, you have been washed. Ursa, I assume that you do some... you're just going to clean them, or are you going to try and put any bandages on?
I don't have anything to put on her.
Well, aside from tearing the linen you're wearing.
We're both
But I-
wet.
I guess that doesn't really matter, because they're not that deep. But
Aurora's just tearing up a little. Just a little.
Now that I have the ring, I'm gonna bolt out towards Ursa.
as you do so, you hear the ground rumbles, and you hear a shriek so loud that it almost that it hurts to listen to. Like, this is the loudest, most ear-piercing scream you've probably ever heard in your lives. The ground rumbles from the sound, and you see black ooze shooting up from the caldera you had just fled for, and beginning to bubble down the sides of it.
I feel like the main antagonist.
Yeah, anyway.
Anyway.
I just murdered like 100 people on this island.
Alsumi, stop being such an empathetic, conscientious, upstanding member of society and get us out of here.
No. I've already made my way up to Aurora, or all with Aurora today.
Yeah, you guys have all come
I tell
gathered on
them-
the beach.
Things are bad. We see that fucking Sumi has the red ring,
Yes.
Yes.
and I'm like, we have to evacuate the island.
What
Yeah.
What about
Yeah.
the women?
Everybody take it to a
Everyone
boat,
should still be at the stadium. We just left there.
or at least most of the island should be at the stadium.
Yeah, most of the island. So we have to book it to the stadium and get the red ring. And fucking Akula, is your city equipped to handle a bunch of refugees?
We don't have any other choice.
All right, let's fucking go.
With
Yeah,
my
was train everybody.
with my
Oh,
clang and
okay.
incredible speed, can I get there faster?
Alright.
Anybody have the Mission Impossible theme?
No.
Can I say something real quick?
Yes.
Besides the fact that you killed everyone, sure.
Ursa, shut up.
Who's not going to let you live that one down? This isn't even the first time Alsumi's impulsivity has caused problems. This is just the worst case.
When I realized what I had done, I felt genuinely terrible. And I just remembered all of the other moments that the character I'm playing completely ruined everything for everyone simultaneously.
Why do I destroy everything I touch?
I genuinely feel so terrible But I'm actually going to say that Elsumi canonically feels terrible.
Well, yeah, I'm sure he does.
Oh, yeah.
The thing is, this whole arc on the island was set up as a horror scenario since you got here. It has been paced like and framed like a horror movie.
I don't watch horror movies.
Really?
This is a
Oh.
horror movie climax. I don't
Well, it
appreciate
succeeded.
I,
It really is.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh.
Some horror movies have a fucking fun in the sun, beach,
Oh, good
ball,
some-
sports
some-
episode.
Some horror movies do. I've seen some
It's-
horror movies
it's
that
one of those-
they'll have like light moments in the middle to like lull you into a false sense of security.
Mhm,
Yeah, it's one of those horror movies where it starts out really nice.
mhm,
Yeah, I like those types of horror movies.
yeah.
Alright, so I tell everyone that we have to get everyone off the island, and I ask Akula where if the city was ready. She said we don't have a choice. I agree, and we book it towards the stadium, which should be like right nearby. Right?
Yes, the stadium is nearby. However, people have already started filtering out of the stadium because they can see the black ooze on the horizon. There's lots of screaming women. Some of them are still standing in the stadium, staring, either awestruck or just. There's some older women who are weeping. There are some that are staring in disbelief and confusion. Others are screaming and running.
Alright. Now, I don't know if I'm necessarily need to roll for all of this.
Also, there's a lot of like foodstuffs and random things on the ground because they were doing a sort of after game party when this black ooze shot
What the
up.
fuck about food?
I know it's a random detail, I just thought I'd mention it.
Alright, so
Uh,
we get to the area. I ask everyone, anybody have a plan?
I
can climb
I have a-
I can get their attention to the lights, maybe.
Piper can hypnotize them.
Yeah, sorry.
Piper's hypnosis would allow you guys to take control of all the
Right.
women.
I have crisis management skills in situations like this.
Yes.
Because, you know, fucking Ursa. Piper, control as many of these people as you can, get them into the ring. Everyone else, just try and gather everyone and try and convince them, if they can, to go get others to get into the ring.
Alright.
Because they're going to know where other people will have gone.
We'll do.
Gonna roll.
I'm going to stand here and keep the ring open. And I take the ring and I walk out to the center of the field and I toss it.
Alright, so it's on the ground and it'll
And
stay.
it's going to the beach of Akula City.
Yes, it will stay open for a certain amount of time or until it's been used. So, the ring is now open in the center. I will set Ursa over there. Piper, she's going to take her flute. I'm not going to bother rolling for this because I don't imagine
No
there's...
one's going to be even consciously aware they're trying to resist.
Yeah, so she is able to take control of everyone within hearing range with her flute.
Mhm.
However, she is going to be having to sort of move them towards the ring one at a time because she can't move multiple people at once. So, while everyone is at least stopped screaming and running around, she can't just like make them all walk towards the center simultaneously. However, if Aurora were to fly up a little bit, she would see that there are still some people that were out of hearing range of the flute that had already run a fair distance off, down towards the guest house and the village.
I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna have Aurora like get to them as fast as she can.
Alright.
I'll go with her.
upon noticing that, Alsumi is also going to do that. Seems
Yeah,
really
Harry
bad.
will join too and
Mhm.
help.
Well, it might speed things up over here if one of you guys stays behind and carries people to the ring. Because again, Piper
That's what I'm doing.
Piper can only walk them to the ring
I'm
one at a
literally just
time.
going to go pick people up, go to the ring, and throw them in.
Alright, that's fine. I hope that ring opens up close enough to the ground to be fine.
Oh no, I broke my ankle and was saved from a dark demon.
Okay, fair enough.
Alright, so. Are we successful in this endeavor?
Yes, I'm going to say you guys over here with the hypnotized people don't run into any trouble. However, Aurora, you are going to have to flag some people down and talk to them and explain that you have an exit for them.
Yep, I'll do that.
Wait, do I also have to do that?
Well, I guess all of you would benefit from trying to flag down as many people as you can.
Mhm.
Or if you can come up with a way to get everyone's attention at once, that would also help.
Flash, attention?
Sure. If you roll a 6, then I guess it'll catch people's eye.
Please, 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 please.
You can have another shot.
Please, 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 please. Yeah!
Alright, on the second try, you're able to flash your butt bright enough that everyone turns to look. Alright, now let's hope you've got the vocal range for everyone to hear you. I guess you are in the air, so they probably can hear you if you yell.
Attention, everyone! Please get back to the arena. There's an exit ready for anyone to get to safety. Please, trust us.
An old lady shouts at you unintelligibly and throws a rock.
Wait, you didn't make a persuasion check.
Oh, do I have to do a persuasion check?
Yeah, do persuasion.
Okay, that is for... I think that's for... Persuasion, where is that?
That would be under personality.
I'm-
It's seduce, persuade.
Ah,
It's near the bottom.
Okay, thank you. That is a 4 plus 6. It is...
Can I help her?
Yeah, you can help.
Okay.
You could add your persuade to hers. Try and be extra persuasive.
That'd be nice, actually, please.
Can Akula add her intimidation?
Yeah, Kula could add her intimidate. Although
think
that
I
would
will.
probably work. Yeah.
Oh,
Like, come with us, we're gonna help you. If you don't, I'll kill you and then let the ooze kill you again.
so 10 plus 10, that's a 20. Because I got an overall 10.
And I got an overall 10.
Mm-hmm. How does that...
So- We both did
Yeah.
pretty good.
Enough. You are able to convince the women to follow you. The older women in particular are especially skeptical, but they do ultimately come along with. And there are 1 or 2 women who even ask how in the world you intend to get them off the island from the arena. And when you mention the red ring, they don't even seem to know what you're talking about. Like, they've never heard of it.
It's magic. Just get in.
And then they're like, oh, magic, okay.
Magic portal. What more explanation do you need?
Think about a word.
Yeah, what's all this red ring nonsense? Oh, it's just magic? Alright. Alright. So, I'm going to say it's going to take you guys a little while before you continue to search the island for people as the ooze starts to spread over more and more of it and people are pushed more towards the beach. But you do eventually manage to collect everyone up. As you guys are herding the last group of people to the arena and Ursa is putting the last hypnotized party down the hole, there is another loud sputter from that caldera as another big tower of the stuff shoots up and it proceeds to start creeping its way towards you much faster than it was before. In fact, the only reason it hasn't gotten to you so far is because the arena has a large wall around the side, so the ooze is sort of, pooling on either side of the arena.
And I'm like, okay, now get in.
Did we get our stuff?
Alright.
Actually, you know what? Go first.
Did you? Yeah, I was gonna say, you guys didn't think to go back to the guest house to get your clothes or other non-weapon items. So all you have left after this are your weapons, and
Wait,
that's it, actually. You lost all your money, you lost your clothing, and any other gear you had. Just your weapons.
Let's go.
They're going commando.
Alright,
wait,
you do
which
have
one
your
of us-
weapons, though. So
which
that's
one of
good.
us would be the fastest?
No,
It
it's
doesn't...
already here. It is about to eat us. Get in the fucking hole.
I don't think there's enough time. If you guys had thought to check the guest house when you were going around collecting up the women, then I would have let you have it. But none of you thought of it until it's already too late. So
Yeah. We're
get in the hole, guys.
we're
You are running out of time. The ooze is starting to sputter up over the wall that has been protecting the arena so far.
All right, so we got all the women in.
Yes, you've just gotten the last of them down the hole.
All right, all of you in. I'm the last one through. Let's go.
going.
All right.
I am at the here we are. But wait, but what about my and somebody just pushes through the wing. Like, wait, what about my whoop?
Yeah. Like,
Oh shit!
my book! No, in the hole. In the hole you all go.
Rings are our currency.
Golden rings are.
Yes, red rings are transportation, gold rings are currency, and red rings are one use.
Well,
Okay, I'm looking at my character sheet.
time.
Well, you lost all your stuff except your weapons. You did get your weapons back.
Yep, time.
Okay.
I have an
So
inventory.
now everyone is through, right?
Yep, you
I
guys.
take one
Yep.
last look around, curse this damn island, and I jump through.
Alright. And you guys all are going to land on the beach.
We're back where we started.
So you guys all land on the beach on top of a pile of bodies. Not dead bodies, live bodies. The women that you shoved through are all just still laying in a heap because they just kept falling on top of each other, so you guys proceed to fall on top of the body. There are women, like, some of them have already kind of dispersed across the beach. Some of them, like, ended up falling over off the pile into the water, you know. Some of them look like they might be mildly injured, but it doesn't look like anyone's in too bad a shape. Mostly just very shaken up. And all kind of stuck on top of each other in a big heap.
And most importantly, not infected by demons.
Well, maybe, I don't know. I hope I watched Aurora well enough.
Ursa, shut up. Ruin this. Just let me have this.
Hey, at least you're home.
That's fair.
No
Damn
place like
straight.
home. Fucking clicking your heels. No place like home. No place like home.
And with that, the red ring disappears. You are laying on top of a pile of women, wearing nothing but plain white linens, with only your weapons.
And I lay there and say, every man's dream.
Just laying half naked on a pile of women with a gun in your hand. Damn it.
Alright, I think that's going to be the end of that session.
That seems like a good place to end the session.